G'day, so today I wanted to talk about 5 tools and pieces of equipment that I find extremely invaluable for my work. So some pieces of wood you just cannot physically split by hitting them multiple times with a maul, no matter how hard you hit them. They're just far too tough and knotty. It's surprising, however, how extremely tough, knotty bits of wood can be split using 2 wedges. I prefer aluminium universal wedges that can also be used for felling, and particularly aluminium I find for some reason just works a lot better than steel wedges, and from my experience is less likely to chip and fragment. By having 2 wedges it goes in a lot easier because the first wedge holds the wood apart so the second one can go deeper. As you can see, these wedges need dressed a bit because they're mushroomed out, but something I have found is aluminium wedges don't like explode like steel wedges, like bits of fragment fly off them. These just sort of crumble, which is a bit safer. They're also a lot kinder to your axes and walls, less damaging. I've also found they're a lot less likely to bounce out of the split. They just seem to dig in better. The second tool I find really invaluable is a pickeroon or Sappie. They're really useful for dragging bits of timber off a stack, moving them in positions where they're easier to cut with a chainsaw, dragging towards you. And it means you don't have to get your hands in the way where they're more likely to get crushed. You can also use it like a bit of a lever to lift and pull things off the stack. They're also handy for moving and throwing chainsaw cut rounds, and it helps you be able to carry 2 rounds at a time. They can also be used to help lift large logs, as it assists your grip. So one of these really saves your back and helps you move large pieces of timber without much effort, and really invaluable for working on timber stack. Another tool that's really useful for working on timber stacks is a felling lever. They're really invaluable for rolling logs over. You can see it's got a hook, and it's also got a flat surface used for felling trees. That goes into the back cut when you're cutting smaller diameter trees that are a bit too small to use wedges on, and you lift up to push the tree in the direction. Another tool I find particularly useful for working on a processor is a pulp hook. These are really good for lifting and moving up to about 5 feet length logs. Quite a simple tool, but the difference it makes in how much strain it puts on your body to lift logs is quite unbelievable. I highly recommend getting one if you're moving a lot of timber. You can see how much easier it is to pick up this log by using the pulp hook, and you don't need to smack it in, it just the point itself will stop it moving. Last but not least, a pair of ear defenders with Bluetooth headphones in them is worth the weight in gold, especially when you're doing long days of monotonous work. You know, you can listen to your favourite tunes or audiobooks.